Most people think that money is very complicated. I'm here to tell you it's not. There are really only 4 things that you need to understand to build wealth. And once you master these, everything becomes simpler. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by your budget, your investments, or just finances in general, this video is going to bring so much clarity for you. Because at the end of the day, money really comes down to 4 core areas: how you earn, how you spend, how you grow, and how you preserve your money. Let's break down each one. The first thing you need to understand about money is how you earn. This is your financial foundation. Your income determines how much opportunity you have to build wealth. But more importantly, how you earn really shapes your long-term trajectory. For example, are you relying on a single paycheck for your entire household? Are you investing in skills that build your income over time? Are you future-proofing your job? That's a huge one right now. And are you looking after your health? There is no point in working yourself into the ground and destroying your most valuable asset, which is your health. Here's the truth. All of us have run into constraints with our budgets where there's only so much we can cut before we run into everything in the budget being a need. But your earning potential, that's often an overlooked area where your biggest upside is. Keep in mind that wealth builders don't work harder. They position themselves to earn more efficiently over time. The second thing to understand about money is how you spend. This is where your behavior comes in. This is counterintuitive, but you don't build wealth by earning money. You build wealth by keeping a portion of the money that you earn. And that really boils down to your spending habits. For example, are you intentional with your spending? Do your expenses reflect your actual priorities? Is your money quietly leaking out of your accounts into things that really don't matter to you? Your lifestyle isn't defined by what you can afford. It's defined by what you prioritize. The third thing to understand about money is how it grows, and this is where your money really starts working for you. Saving is important, but saving alone won't build long-term wealth. Because of inflation, which basically means that over time the value of your currency in your country is steadily getting chipped away, you have to find a way for your money to make more than inflation, preferably a lot more than inflation, but at least to keep up with inflation in terms of the interest that you're getting back from even a high-yield savings account or your investment portfolio or your 401k or IRA investments. Now, of course, always consult a licensed investment advisor when you're looking at investing your money, whether that's short-term or for long-term, because with investing, you can make money, but of course, you can also lose money. So it's really important to have a strategy that's tailored for your situation, your time of life, and the goals you're working on. But once you find a workable investment strategy for you, that's where you start taking advantage of something called compound interest, where you're earning some interest on the money that you have in your accounts, and then that just continues to build over time, both as you contribute more to, say, your IRA, and as the money that's already in there continues to earn money and the dividends get reinvested back into that fund if you choose to set things up that way. And the earlier you can get started on investing, honestly, the better, because you get starting on taking advantage of that compound interest earlier on, and then have the benefit of decades and decades of accrued interest over time that eventually will land you in a very comfortable place for retirement, for example, if you've got a really well-tailored retirement strategy. Remember that you don't need to perfectly time the markets. You really don't need to chase the latest investment trends. You just need a simple, repeatable strategy that allows your money to grow steadily over time. The fourth thing to understand about money is how you preserve it, and this is so often completely overlooked. It's not just about building wealth, it's about keeping it. Money can disappear like that if it's not protected. Examples of this are things like your emergency savings account, so that an unexpected bill doesn't completely undo all your hard work, and making sure you plan for emergencies because they happen to all of us at some point in our lives. Another example is insurance, and I can't stress this enough, having come from an insurance background and seeing what happens when people don't have adequate amounts of auto insurance, homeowners insurance, insurance for their valuables, insurance for their businesses, all of these things that are so, so important, even things like disability insurance to be basically like a backup paycheck if your primary wage earner in your home is disabled and unfortunately not able to work as much or work at all. It's so important to have all of the right insurance products and work with a good licensed insurance broker on what is specifically needed for your situation and your time in life. But such an important piece that gets so overlooked is insurance. And then, of course, there's taxes. No one wants to pay more in taxes than they absolutely must. And so, again, you can work with a licensed tax advisor to be able to look at your taxes and decide if there's ways that you can grow your money in tax advantaged accounts, for example. And then, of course, there's things like avoiding unnecessary risk, both at work and at home. Now, some people have inherently risky jobs, and I'm very grateful for all the people who are working out on the front lines and looking after us when we get in a car crash or when our house is burning down. Very grateful to them. But it's also really important to remember that how much risk you're wanting to take on in your personal life or how much risk you take on at work is really key to think through. What's your risk tolerance? How comfortable are you with taking risk in your personal life or at work? And that can shape decisions such as, do you buy a motorcycle or not? Or do you have a business that you run and you skip insurance because you figure, oh, I'll never have any issues, and then you have a random thing happen with a client? And so it's very important to really understand your own risk tolerance and work on how you can mitigate those things ahead of time so that they're not coming back to really affect you either. I always emphasize in my videos that wealth isn't just about amassing a large amount of money. It's about resilience. It's also about building something that lasts, and that's where this protection piece comes in. Preferably, we want our money to last through our lifetimes so that we're able to take care of ourselves in our old age and have a semi-decent retirement. And also, if even better, if we can preserve our money so well that then we're able to pass that down as a legacy to the next generation, that's a wonderful gift to be able to then help the next generation in your family get a head start on when they're going to college, or get a head start on down payments on homes and all the things that can be real struggles in your 20s, to be able to kind of smooth the way and pave the way for maybe your grandchildren to be able to have a little bit easier time in their 20s than they would otherwise. So wealth preservation, wealth protection is such a key piece that just so frequently gets completely overlooked. So just to recap, if you focus on improving these 4 core money areas: how you earn, how you spend, how you grow, and how you protect your money, that's going to set you up in wonderful stead and really build a good financial foundation for you. Importantly, you don't need to overcomplicate your finances because this is the system, is just understanding these 4 core areas. And the more consistently you apply these skills in these 4 areas over time, the more confident you will become around money, and just the more peace of mind you will experience around money as well. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. If you enjoyed this, I will link to another video here on screen that I think you'll enjoy as well, and I will see you very soon over there.